Hey, what's up guys, it's Turbo here and welcome back to a brand new video. And Valve dropped a absolutely massive update today. Premier Season 4 is finally here and they added a couple new maps into the game. So they removed all the previous maps from the last season and they added Warden, Stronghold, and Alpine. Under Wingman, there's a new map called Poseidon, another map called Sanctum, and they absolutely cooked with the skins. In the Armory, they added a brand new skin called the AK-47 Aphrodite, and this actually costs 125 stars. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll pick up one of these and see what pattern we get, because it's like pattern based and it is by far the most expensive thing we've ever seen in the Armory. And it's also kind of like a poor man's gold arabesque a little bit. Valve was low-key kind of cooking. So Premier Season 4 is here and it brings a host of community content, in-game items, gameplay tweaks, and bug fixes along with it. Anubis is back after a short vacation and has several gameplay adjustments to show for it. The release notes have a full story, so we'll have to actually check out the release notes afterwards. They added 2 new collections into the weekly care packages. The Harlequin collection, which actually has some pretty sick skins. We'll check them out in just a little bit. And also the Achroma collection, which is basically all black and white skins. Except that's brown, so I don't know. Anubis was added to the active duty pool. Terrain is gone. The comp ranks are also reset. They made some minor adjustments to the MP7 and the MP5 SD. Slightly increased damage. Slightly reduced damage fall off, reduced price by $100, reduced the price of the PP Bison by 100, jump changes. Landing time is now calculated with sub-tick precision. Jumping and landing no longer affects stamina. The landing speed penalty is now a simple function of the landing time. So wait, is this going to make b-hopping significantly easier? Legacy jump behavior can be restored on private servers. Okay, gotcha. Reduced audio output latency, which is actually pretty nice. Higher fidelity knife draw and inspect sounds. Weapon knife and utility draw sounds. Wait, this is a huge change. They also removed 4 weapon collections from the weekly care package drop: Safehouse, Dust 2, 2018 Inferno, and 2018 Nuke collections. Okay, so those skins are going to go absolutely crazy now. All right, but it's time to check out all the new skins. So for the Achroma collection, we have the dual Beretta silver pores, and they're honestly not that bad. They look kind of clean. All of these skins are going to be perfect for sticker crafts. The M249 Sleet is up next. And then the MP9 Dizzy. You can tell these are all very, well, they're black and white. They have the Nova Currents, which kind of reminds me a little bit of the Nova Mandrill, although it has a few extra details. There's also the P250 Sleet, the PP Bison by Zoom, Scar 20 Zinc, the SSG Sans Comic. Yeah, you can tell like a lot of these skins look very similar to each other. Going into the light blues, we have the FAMAS Vendetta, which actually does have a cool metallic look to it. Like that actually looks low-key kind of sick. The M4A4 Aeolian Dark, which looks exactly the same as the grays. The Mac 10 Snow Splash. I mean, it's effectively just a Mac 10 whiteout, except with a few things missing. The MP5 Snow Splash, and the last light blue is the R8 Dark Chamber. It's just a regular default revolver, but with a couple black accents, which honestly isn't that bad. Like, it definitely does look pretty clean. All right, moving on to the blues, we have the AUG Creep. It definitely does look a lot more like an actual proper skin. The Daily Deagle, which I guess is like a newspaper-based deagle. Of course, all these skins are perfect for crafting, but this one is especially good for it. The P2000 Grip Tape. Okay, that actually looks pretty nice. And the Aeolian Light for the P90. And actually, just based on this, it seems like it's pattern based. And you can probably get it full white. You can probably get like this full pattern that's on the back on the front. And if it's not pattern based, then like, what are they doing? For the purples though, there's the AK-47 Breakthrough. It reminds me a little bit of the Slate, but taken to the next level. You have these like chrome parts that are like super shiny, and it just looks really nice. The Grok Trace look, but wait, this isn't just black and white. It also has a little bit of pearlescence going on right here too, which absolutely looks insane. Like, honestly, this is probably the most extreme version of pearlescence we've ever seen in Counter-Strike. And I wasn't expecting to see it on a black and white collection. And of course, the pink is the the end. But this is not the end of the video, because we still have one other collection. The front has the end, and then the back actually has like an entirely different design to it. And I'm just wondering if it is pattern based, where you could basically get like a full white with like all these flowers, or if it's intentionally like this, where it's kind of like more black and more white on one side, so it's kind of like a yin yang skin a little bit. I don't know. And then there's also a little bit of like blue. It's definitely an interesting skin, but what do you guys think? All right, and we have one other collection to check out. We have the Harlequin collection with, of course, the CZ Honey Paisley. Typical CZ, but it's actually not that bad. The FAMAS byproduct, which definitely looks like a gray, although it does have like this custom stuff like on the back, which is pretty nice. The MP9 B-Tron. Oh yeah, a lot of these are like B themed. So nice. You finally have like the perfect MP9 for Zywoo. The PP Bison Thermal Currents, which is a little bit more red, and this honestly looks a lot better than a gray probably should. The R8 Malv Aside, which is kind of similar to the previous one we looked at, but instead of like black and white, we have all these like, we have like this, I guess, reddish pink going on right here. And honestly, like these pink details definitely do kind of look nice. Although it's kind of weird to see this on a gray. Like these look way too good for like the rarity. But stepping back to reality, we have the SSG Safari print, which is a lot more, well, it's actually not that bad either. You have like zebra print, you have like tiger, you have a bunch of different like animals, you even have like scales. Like there's so much going on and it's genuinely not that bad of a skin. And the Crimson Baddock, which is basically just a full red sawed off for the two people who use the sawed off. Moving into the light grays, we have the MP5 Picnic, which now that the MP5 has been buffed, I feel like a lot more people are actually going to give it a chance now. And like this is like a perfect skin for that. The MP7 Coral Paisley, which is also like super red themed. So I'm noticing a theme with a lot of these. It's like there's a lot of yellow, a lot of red, and honestly I'm kind of all for it. Calligrapha, I think that's how it's pronounced. But yeah, I mean, honestly looks pretty clean. The Tech 9 Banana Leaf, which I'm surprised doesn't already exist, actually kind of reminds me of like a few skins that already exist, like the Fuel Injector. Although, I mean, you know, it does have this pattern going on, which is a little bit different. The XM1014 Zoom with an X, it kind of reminds me of like a SpongeBob XM for some reason. All right, moving on to the blues, we have the Fraser Crane, of course, the Fraser Crane, because, you know, Valve's based in Seattle, bro. But I mean, yeah, look at that. You got like a field of flowers. You got a crane up here, and the crane's kind of cut up in the back. All right, well, so I mean, if you have like a pink themed inventory, there you go. The UMP, oh, I just clicked off the screen, bro. That's actually crazy. All right, the UMP Warm Blooded, which kind of looks like it's more like comic book based. It has like this Spider-Man web right here, which is perfect for a Spider-Man craft. You also have like a couple teeth over here. There's a little bit of color variation, which honestly does look pretty nice. Oh, and I actually missed a skin. The Galil Sky Mandela, which is effectively just a ripoff of the Galil Sandstorm. Except I feel like this one definitely has like more thoughtful artwork. And I'm guessing just because of the way that it's designed, it's probably also pattern based. All right, and for the final blue, we have the Zeus Earth Mandela, which actually doesn't look too bad. You got the blue, the red, there's like a little bit of pink in here, some yellow. And honestly, the artwork is just kind of an entire vibe. All right, moving on to the more expensive skins. First off, we have the Op Exothermic, which this thing low-key actually kind of slaps. It's just a full red op with a bunch of triangles, a bunch of like designs going on, and it's actually kind of sick. Like, how does this look when you're inspecting it? Yeah, definitely not bad. And I feel like this would only get better if you threw a couple stickers on it too. And of course, the other purple, the USPS Sleeping Potion. It reminds me a little bit of like the Alpine Camo from earlier, from like the Armory. You have like this purple pattern going on, but then you also have like this stainless kind of deal where it's like super metallic, super shiny, and it looks absolutely insane. The rarest skin, the pink, is the M4A1S Party Animal, which is kind of like the Decimator, but taken to the absolute next level. I mean, you have the purple, you have like the pink suppressor with, I guess, some kind of pattern, and I'm guessing just because of this, it might be pattern based. It's ultimately kind of like a gradient, and then you have like all these different designs right here, like the stock and the magazine have like a super unique look to them. But obviously, if this is pattern based, then I mean, there could be a million different ways the skin could look. I mean, but then again, even if it's just this, it's kind of like a better version of the Decimator, a more artistic version of it. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about all the new skins, because like over the next little bit, as you guys get your weekly drops, you'll probably get a few of them. And I have a feeling for at least the first little bit, the prices are gonna go a little bananas. No pun intended. All right, but there's a few other things I want to check out real quick. I mean, with all intents and purposes, just based off of like just walking around for like 10 seconds, it seems very similar to how it used to be, although I can kind of notice that it definitely is a little bit more consistent actually hitting those B-hops, but it's just a matter of having the right technique. They also changed the sound effects for when you knife. That sounds so different. So I'm not sure if this was already in the game or if this is brand new, but now in connector, there's a couple little gaps. So now if you wanted to, you could basically molly off dark. And I'm sure there's probably like a couple other useful pieces of utility you could figure out. But other than that, I think the only major change is just like drop down being moved over here in front of doors, and everything else seems to be relatively similar. In my opinion, I think Valve did a fantastic job with this update, but let me know what you guys think. Was this update a W or an L? Anyways, subscribe with the bell, like the video if you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one. It's Turbo, and I'm out. Peace.